Serious Guy and Andrew Wedge are setting the pace up front, with 80-17-92 and Super LaCroix closely trailing in second. Behind them are Wayne Train 94 and Newcomb Bockham fighting for the third spot. Duff Dad and Amy have climbed to P3, passing Wayne Train 94 and Newcomb Bockham in the process. Babardo and Amuljite have dropped to 22nd place, facing some challenges. Freya 023 and Iusgen 7 have advanced to 5th place, surpassing Gary Z and Okayaki 8. Gary Z and Okayaki 8 have moved up to 6th place, overtaking Rizaldi Adar and Amadin Darkside. Gary Z and Okayaki 8 make a strong move to secure the 5th position, surpassing Freya 023 and Iusgen 7 in their Porsche 911 GT1. The battle for 5th place is heating up between the two pairs. Kamado 3K advances to 18th place by overtaking Kamikaze 38 and Nibbit. Dakota Snake advances to 15th place, overtaking Neotexum and Sir Ironbot in this tight race. Gary_Z and Okayaki 8 are now in 4th place after overtaking Wayne Train 94 and Newcomb Bockham. Freya 023 and Iusgen 7 show great progress, now at P5 after overtaking Wayne Train 94 and Newcomb Bockham. On the other hand, Wayne Train 94 and Newcomb Bockham are entangled in a heated battle with Rizaldi Adar and Amadin Darkside for P6. The Dara 962LM and McLaren F1 are putting on quite a show. Kamikaze 38 and Nibbit have made a swift move up to 17th place, surpassing Kamado 3K in the process. Duff Dad and Amy are now in a heated battle with Gary Z and Okayaki 8 for the 3rd position. Duff Dad and Amy in a Ferrari F40 LM are up against Gary Z and Okayaki 8 driving a Porsche 911 GT1. It's getting intense out there on the track. Neotexum and Sir Ironbot have advanced to 15th place, making a move past Dakota Snake. Currently, Neotexum and Sir Ironbot are fiercely contesting the 15th position with Dakota Snake. Neotexum and Sir Ironbot are behind the wheel of a Lamborghini Countach LP5000, while Dakota Snake is piloting a rough CTR Yellowbird. Dakota Snake in the rough CTR Yellowbird is locked in a close fight with Kamikaze 38 and Nibbit, both in Ferrari F50S, for the 16th position. It's a tight battle as they navigate the track. Babardo and Amuljite have advanced to 19th place, successfully passing Komodo 3K. The intense battle continues between Babardo and Amuljite in a Ferrari 288 GTO Evolution and Komodo 3K in a Caterham Super 7 1700 SS for the 19th position. Dakota Snake in the rough CTR Yellowbird, Kamikaze 38, and Nipbit in the Ferrari F50 are locked in a tight battle for 16th place. Eighty 1792 and Super LaCroix have surged to first place, surpassing One Serious Guy and Andrew Wedge. Serious Guy and Andrew Wedge leading the pack, closely followed by 80 1792 and Super LaCroix in second, with Gary Z and Okayaki 8 hot on their tails in third. Rizaldi Adar and Amadin Darkside have made a bold move up to 6th place, surpassing Ferreira 023 and Ayus John 7 in the process. Hey ST4NBZH, welcome back to the racetrack. Glad to have you back in the pit stop with us. Sidrek and Sabine 27 have advanced to 7th place, passing Ferreira 023 and Ayusjan 7 in an exciting battle for the position. Sidrek and Sabine 27 are in a Ferrari F40 LM, while Ferreira 023 and Ayusjan 7 are in a Dow 962 LM. Ferreira 023 and Ayusjan 7 have made a swift move up to 7th place, successfully overtaking Sidrek and Sabine 27 in the process. Gary Z and Okayaki 8 have impressively climbed to 2nd place, surpassing 80 1792 and Super LaCroix. The Porsche 911 GT1 is fiercely competing with the Ferrari F40 LM for that spot. Rizaldi Adar and Amadin Darkside in the McLaren F1 are challenging Ferreira 023 and Ayus John 7 in the Dow 962 LM for the 6th position. Keep an eye on this four-way battle as they maneuver through the track. Ferreira 023 and Ayusjan 7 have advanced to 6th place, surpassing Rizaldi Adar and Amadin Darkside in the process. Babardo and Amuljite successfully climbed to the 16th position, surpassing Dakota Snake in a tight battle. It's a showdown between a Ferrari 288 GTO Evolution and a rough CTR Yellowbird. AI drivers 801792 and Super LaCroix are making moves, now up to second place after successfully overtaking Gary Z and Okayaki 8. Sidewreck and Sabine 27 have made a great move up to 7th place, getting past Rizaldi Adar and Amadin Darksight. Currently, they are locked in a tight battle for the 7th spot. Sidewreck and Sabine 27 are in a Ferrari F40 LM, while Rizaldi Adar and Amadin Darksight are in a McLaren F1. Babardo and Amuljite are making significant progress, catching up to Neotexum and Surianbot by reducing the gap by 2.2 seconds. Babardo and Amuljite are making significant gains on Neotexum and Surianbot, reducing the distance between them by 2.0 seconds. Gary Z and Okayaki 8 are making significant gains, reducing the distance to one Serious Guy and Andrew Wedge by 2.1 seconds. Sidewreck and Sabine 27 have advanced to 6th place, surpassing Ferreira 023 and Ayuzjan 7. Both teams are fiercely competing for that spot, with Sidewreck and Sabine 27 in a Ferrari F40 LM and Ferreira 023 and Ayuzjan 7 in a Dara 962 LM. Babardo and Amuljite have made progress to 15th place after overtaking Neotexum and Surianbot. Duvdad and Amy have advanced to 3rd place, surpassing 801792 and Super LaCroix in the process. (801792) and Super LaCroix have surged to 3rd place, surpassing Duvdad and Amy. Sidewreck and Sabine 27 have climbed to 5th place, passing Wayne Train 94 and Newcomb Bockham. A fierce competition is unfolding for the 5th position between Sidewreck and Sabine 27 in a Ferrari F40 LM and Wayne Train 94 and Newcomb Bockham in a Dara 962 LM. Gary Z and Okayaki 8 are making gains on one Serious Guy and Andrew Wedge, reducing the gap by 3.1 seconds. Sidewreck and Sabine 27 are catching up to Duvdad and Amy, closing in by 3.4 seconds. Sidewreck and Sabine 27 have made a move to claim the 5th position, successfully overtaking Duff Dad and Amy in the process. Duff Dad and Amy have advanced to 5th place, surpassing Sidewreck and Sabine 27. Duff Dad and Amy are making a move, catching up to Wayne Train 94 and Newcombuckham by reducing the gap to 2.0 seconds. Dakota Snake in the rough CTR Yellowbird, Kamikaze 38, and Nipbit in the Ferrari F50 are engaged in a fierce battle for the 18th position. It's tight racing between these three drivers as they navigate the track with their respective cars. Gary Z and Okayaki 8 are making significant progress, catching up to One Serious Guy and Andrew Wedge by reducing the gap by 2.2 seconds. AT1792 and Super LaCroix make a strong move up to 2nd place, passing Gary Z and Okayaki 8. Freya 023 and Iusgen 7 are steadily gaining on Sidewreck and Sabine 27, reducing the distance by 2.2 seconds. Wayne Train 94 and Newcombuckham make a bold move to claim the 3rd position, passing AT1792 and Super LaCroix. Dakota Snake also shows some impressive driving, climbing up to the 17th spot by overtaking Kamikaze 38 and Nipbit. One Serious Guy, Andrew Wedge, Gary Z, and Okayaki 8 are locked in a thrilling battle for the top spot. Gary Z and Okayaki 8 have surged to the top, passing One Serious Guy and Andrew Wedge for 1st place. AT1792 and Super LaCroix are neck and neck with Wayne Train 94 and Newcombuckham for the 3rd position, battling it out in their Ferrari F40 LM and Dar 962 LM respectively. Meanwhile, Duff Dad and Amy are fighting Sidetrack and Sabine 27 for the 5th spot. Ferreira 023 and Iusgen 7 are making a move, closing in on Sidetrack and Sabine 27 by 2.2 seconds. Wayne Train 94 and Mukumbakum are now in P3 after passing Sidetrack and Sabine 27. The latter duo has climbed to P4 by overtaking Duff Dad and Amy. Currently, Duff Dad and Amy are in a heated contest with 801792 and Super LaCroix for the 5th position. Rizaldi Adar and Ahmedan Darkside are gaining on Ferreira 023 and Iusgen 7, reducing the gap by 3.3 seconds. Duff Dad and Amy have made a remarkable move up to the 6th position, overtaking Ferreira 023 and Iusgen 7 in a thrilling display of skill and strategy. Rizaldi Adar and Ahmedan Darkside are closing in on Ferreira 023 and Iusgen 7, reducing the gap by 2.0 seconds. Gary Z, Okayaki 8, One Serious Guy, and Andrew Wedge are currently engaged in a tight battle for the top spot in the race. Babardo and Amuljite are making a move, closing the gap to Sneaku 515 and Meyer by 2.0 seconds. Sidetrack and Sabine 27 have advanced to 3rd place, passing Wayne Train 94 and Mukumbakum. The competition for the 3rd spot is heating up between Sidetrack and Sabine 27 in a Ferrari F40 LM and Wayne Train 94 and Mukumbakum in a Dar 962 LM. Sidetrack and Sabine 27 are gaining ground on One Serious Guy and Andrew Wedge, decreasing the gap by 2.3 seconds. In the middle of the pack, Dakota Snake, Kamikaze 38, and Nibbit are fiercely competing for the 17th position. It's a showdown between the rough CTR Yellowbird and 2 Ferrari F50s. One Serious Guy and Andrew Wedge are putting the pressure on Gary Z and Okayaki 8, narrowing the gap by 2.0. Meanwhile, Sidetrack and Sabine 27 are making moves, closing in on One Serious Guy and Andrew Wedge by 2.9. Neotexum and Sir Ironbot are making impressive progress, catching up to Drin 1 and Irefale by reducing the gap by 2.9 seconds. The race is heating up as they battle for position. Neotexum and Sir Ironbot have advanced to 15th place, surpassing Drin 1 and Irefale in the process. Dakota Snake is now right on the tail of Drin 1 and Irefale, reducing the gap by 2.9 seconds. Dakota Snake smoothly advances to P16, successfully passing Kamikaze 38 and Nidbit. In response, Kamikaze 38 and Nidbit swiftly climb to P17, overtaking Drin 1 and Irefale. Forea 023 and Iusgen 7 have made a bold move, climbing up to 6th place, successfully overtaking Duff Dad and Amy in the process. Barbardo and Amuljite have surged forward to the 13th position, passing Caxant and Ikastoon in a swift overtake. Caxant and Ikastoon are closing in on Sneaku 515 and Meyer, reducing the gap by 14.5. Barbardo and Amuljite have surged to 12th place, overtaking Sneaku 515 and Meyer. Caxant and Ikastoon continue to reel in Sneaku 515 and Meyer, now closing the gap by 14.5. Neotexum and Sir Ironbot are making a swift move, closing in on Sneaku 515 and Meyer by 50.8 units. Forea 023 and Iusgen 7 have advanced to P5, surpassing Rizaldi Adar and Amadin Darksight. On the other hand, Rizaldi Adar and Amadin Darksight have climbed to P6, overtaking Duff Dad and Amy. Okayaki 3 and Gensites Forska Quarkus have made a swift move to take the 10th position by overtaking 801792 and Super LaCroix. In a surprising turn of events, Neotexum and Sir Ironbot have advanced to the 14th position by passing Sneaku 515 and Meyer. Hey there, welcome back Eagle Eye 92. Glad to have you back in the racing action. Let's enjoy the AI cars tearing up the track together. Barbardo and Amuljite have made a fantastic move, climbing up to the 11th position by overtaking 801792 and Super LaCroix. Caxant and Ikastoon have made a solid move, advancing to 12th place by overtaking 801792 and Super LaCroix in the standings. Neotexum and Sir Ironbot made a significant move up to 13th place, surpassing Sneaku 515 and Meyer. Sneaku 515 and Meyer have advanced to 14th place, overtaking 801792 and Super LaCroix. 801792 and Super LaCroix are struggling, dropping 7 positions to P22. Dakota Snake advances to P15, passing Kamikaze 38 and Nidbit. Kamikaze 38 and Nidbit climb to P16, overtaking Drin 1 and Irefale. Kamikaze 38 and Nidbit are making a significant move, closing the gap on Dakota Snake by 599.3 units. They are really pushing hard in this race. Sidewreck and Sabine 27 smoothly advanced to second place, surpassing Gary Z and Okayaki 8. Meanwhile, Neotexum, Sir Iron Bot, Sneaku 515, and Meyer are fiercely competing for the 13th position. Neotexum and Sir Iron Bot are handling a Lamborghini Countach LP5000, while Sneaku 515 and Meyer are navigating a Mercedes-Benz CLK GTR. Wayne Train 94 and Newcombotham make a strong move to claim third place from Ferreira 023 and Iusgen 7. The latter duo now sits in fourth, overtaking Duff Dad and Amy, who now hold the fifth position, passing unknown knowns in the process. Okayaki 3 and Genside's Forska Quarkus make a strong move to secure 8th place, passing Rizaldi Adar and Amadon Darkside. Caxant and Ikastoon advance to 11th place, surpassing Sneaku 515 and Meyer. Sneaku 515 and Meyer climb to 12th place, overtaking Neotexum and Sir Iron Bot. Okayaki 3 and Genside's Forska Quarkus have made a move to 7th place, passing Sidewreck and Sabine 27. Duff Dad and Amy have also climbed to 11th place, overtaking Caxant and Ikastoon. Gary Z and Okayaki 8 are making gains on One Serious Guy and Andrew Wedge, decreasing the gap by 6.7 seconds. Meanwhile, Babardo and Amuljite are catching up to Duff Dad and Amy, cutting the distance by a significant 56.0 seconds. The pressure is on as Gary Z and Okayaki 8 continue to close in on One Serious Guy and Andrew Wedge, shrinking the gap by 6.7 seconds. Wayne Train 94 and Newcombotham are now in second place after overtaking One Serious Guy and Andrew Wedge. Meanwhile, Ferreira 023 and Iusgen 7 are making moves, reducing the gap to One Serious Guy and Andrew Wedge by 3.2 seconds. Exciting developments in the race. Okayaki 3 and Genside's Forska Quarkus advance to 5th place, surpassing Sidewreck and Sabine 27 in the process. Rizaldi Adar and Amadon Darkside are making a significant move, gaining on unknown knowns by closing the gap by 19.7 seconds. It's a tight race as they continue to reel in their competition. Babardo and Amuljite are on the move, making a strong push to secure the 10th position by passing Duff Dad and Amy. Duff Dad and Amy are struggling, dropping to P17. Caxant and Ikastoon advance to P11, passing Sneaku 515 and Meyer. Sneaku 515 and Meyer move to P12, overtaking Neotexum and Sir Iron Bot. Caxant and Ikastoon are making a strong move, closing in on Babardo and Amuljite by 572.6 units. Komodo 3K is on the move, advancing to the 19th position, overtaking Duff Dad and Amy in the process. Sneaku 515 and Meyer are making significant progress, narrowing the gap to Caxant and Ikastoon by 588.4 units. Duff Dad and Amy are also gaining ground on Komodo 3K, reducing the gap by 576.1 units. Additionally, Ferreira 023 and Iusgen 7 are closing in on One Serious Guy and Andrew Wedge, shortening the distance by 2.1 units. Ferreira 023 and Iusgen 7 are making gains on One Serious Guy and Andrew Wedge, shortening the distance by 3.4. Duff Dad and Amy are also closing in on Komodo 3K, reducing the gap by 3.7. The competition is heating up as these pairs battle for position. Dufdad and Amy are making gains on Komodo 3K, reducing the gap by 2.4 seconds. Dufdad and Amy are closing in on Komodo 3K, reducing the gap by 2.8 seconds. Dufdad and Amy have surged ahead to 19th place, successfully passing Komodo 3K. AT1792 and Super LaCroix are making a bold move, closing in on Komodo 3K by 18.0 units. The competition is heating up. AI Cars AT1792 and Super LaCroix are pushing hard, narrowing the distance to Komodo 3K by 6.3 units. A fierce tussle is unfolding at position 14, with Kamikaze 38 and Nibbit making gains and surpassing Dakota Snake. The battle intensifies as Kamikaze 38 and Nibbit in a Ferrari F50 engage in a heated competition with Dakota Snake's rough CTR Yellowbird for that 14th spot. One Serious Guy and Andrew Wedge make a strong move to claim P2, passing Wayne Train 94 and Newcombuckham. AT1792 and Super LaCroix are gaining on Komodo 3K, narrowing the gap by 3.2 seconds. Sidrek and Sabine 27 have made a bold move, securing the 5th position by overtaking Okayaki 3 and Gensight's Forska Quarkus in an impressive display of skill. Sidrek and Sabine 27 are making a strong move, narrowing the gap to Wayne Train 94 and Newcombuckham by 39.2 seconds. Additionally, Rizaldi Adar and Amadan Darksight have climbed to the 6th position after overtaking Okayaki 3 and Gensight's Forska Quarkus. Rizaldi Adar and Amadan Darksight are steadily gaining on Freya 023 and Ayuzjan 7, reducing the distance by 3.7 units. Meanwhile, Unknown Knowns has made a move to claim the 7th position, passing Okayaki 3 and Gensight's Forska Quarkus. Dakota Snake is also making progress, now sitting at 14th place after overtaking Drin 1 and Arafael. Amy and Dufdad are making a strong move, closing in on Kamikaze 38 and Nibbit by 5.6 seconds. Babardo and Amuljite have advanced to the 9th position, surpassing Okayaki 3 and Gensight's Forska Quarkus. Amy and Dufdad continue to close the gap on Kamikaze 38 and Nibbit by 5.6 seconds. Caxant and Ikastoon are making a strong move, significantly reducing the gap to Okayaki 3 and Gensight's Forska Quarkus by 11.7 seconds. Dufdad and Amy are also closing in on Drin 1 and Arafael, decreasing the gap by 3.2 seconds. The competition is heating up as these cars navigate the track. Dufdad and Amy are catching up with Drin 1 and Rafael, reducing the gap by 3.1 seconds. Dakota Snake in the rough CTR Yellowbird is fighting hard against Drin 1 and Rafael in the Nissan R390 for the 14th position. It's a close battle as they navigate the track, each trying to gain an advantage over the other. Babardo and Amojite are gaining on unknown knowns, reducing the gap by 2.1. Dufdad and Amy are catching up to Drin 1 and Rafael, closing the gap by 2.4. Dufdad and Amy are making moves, reducing the distance to Drin 1 and Rafael by 2.5 units. Dufdad and Amy are making significant progress, catching up to Drin 1 and Rafael by reducing the gap by 2.2 seconds. The competition is definitely heating up as they jostle for position. Wayne Train 94 and Newcombotham are making significant progress, narrowing the gap by 2.1 seconds to catch up with One Serious Guy and Andrew Wedge. Wayne Train 94 and Newcombotham are making moves, catching up to One Serious Guy and Andrew Wedge, reducing the gap by 2.7 seconds. Drin 1 and Rafael have advanced to 14th place, successfully passing Dakota Snake in the race. Drin 1 and Rafael have made a strong move, climbing up to 13th place by passing Neo Texan and Sir Ironbot. Dufdad and Amy are steadily catching up to Dakota Snake, reducing the gap by 41.0 units. Neo Texan and Sir Ironbot have advanced to P14, surpassing Dakota Snake. Dufdad and Amy are getting closer to Dakota Snake, closing the gap by 41.0 units. Kamikaze 38 and Nitbit are gaining on Dakota Snake by 8.2 units. Wayne Train 94 and Newcombotham are closing in on One Serious Guy and Andrew Wedge by 2.0 units. Freya 023 and Iusgen 7 are catching up to Sidrek and Sabine 27 by 2.3 units. Sidrek and Sabine 27 are making gains on Wayne Train 94 and Newcombotham, shortening the distance by 2.4. Dufdad and Amy have advanced to P14, surpassing Neo Texan and Sir Ironbot. Dufdad and Amy are gaining on Drin 1 and Rafael, reducing the distance by 2.2 seconds. Dufdad and Amy are making moves, catching up to Drin 1 and Rafael by reducing the gap by 2.1 seconds. Rizaldi Adar and Ahmedan Darkside are pressing hard on Ferreira 023 and Ayuzjan 7, reducing the distance by 2.4 units. Wayne Train 94 and Mukumbakam are making a move, narrowing the distance to one Serious Guy and Andrew Wedge by 2.4 seconds. Wayne Train 94 and Mukumbakam are rapidly catching up, with one Serious Guy and Andrew Wedge, shortening the distance by 2.1 seconds. Duvdad and Amy are steadily gaining on Drin 1 and Arairfail, reducing the gap by 2.1 seconds. Duvdad and Amy have made a move, closing the gap on Drin 1 and Arairfail by 2.3 seconds. Duvdad and Amy are making gains on Drin 1 and Arairfail, reducing the gap by 2.4 seconds. Duvdad and Amy have advanced to 13th place, surpassing Drin 1 and Arairfail. A tight competition is brewing between Duvdad and Amy in the Ferrari F40LM and Drin 1 and Arairfail in the Nissan R390 for that 13th spot on the track. Okayaki 3 and Gensites Forska Korkus have made a strong move, climbing up to 9th place by overtaking Babardo and Amuljite. Caxant and Ikastoon are rapidly catching up to Babardo and Amuljite, reducing the gap by 15.1 seconds. The competition is heating up as they continue to close in on the leaders. Caxant and Ikastoon have made a strong move up to 10th place, passing Babardo and Amuljite in the process. Sneaku 515 and Meyer are on the move, closing in on Babardo and Amuljite with an impressive 39.6 second gain. The pressure is on as the race intensifies. Sneaku 515 and Meyer are making impressive progress, closing in on Babardo and Amuljite by 2.1 seconds. Sneaku 515 and Meyer are making moves, closing in on Babardo and Amuljite by 2.6 seconds. Babardo and Amuljite are making a move, gaining ground on Caxant and Ikastoon, closing the gap by 2.0 units. Babardo and Amuljite are making some moves, steadily closing in on Caxant and Ikastoon. The gap is now down to 2.1 seconds. Neotaxum and Sir Ironbot are closing in on Drin 1 and Arifale, reducing the gap by 3.7 seconds. Neotaxum and Sir Ironbot have advanced to 14th place, surpassing Drin 1 and Arifale in the standings. Sidrek and Sabine27 are making gains, closing in on Waintrain94 and Mukumbakum by reducing the gap by 2.2 seconds. Kamikaze38 and Nibbit are making significant gains, reducing the distance to Drin 1 and Arifale by 43.6 units. The chase is on. Dovdad and Amy are making their move, closing in on Sneaky 515 and Meyer, reducing the gap by 4.3 seconds. Dovdad and Amy have made a solid move up to 12th place, successfully overtaking Sneaky 515 and Meyer in the process. Waintrain94 and Mukumbakum are making moves, closing in on One Serious Guy and Andrew Wedge with a 2.4-second reduction in the gap. Babardo and Amuljite have significantly closed in on Caxant and Ikastoon, reducing the gap by 2.8 seconds. Neotaxum and Sir Ironbot are also making gains, closing in on Sneaky 515 and Meyer by 4.8 seconds. Neotaxum and Sir Ironbot are steadily gaining on Sneaky 515 and Meyer, reducing the deficit by 42.3 units. Babardo and Amuljite have made a bold move to claim the 10th position, surpassing Caxant and Ikastoon. The competition is heating up as Neotaxum and Sir Ironbot continue to close in on Sneaky 515 and Meyer, closing the gap by 42.3 units. Dovdad and Amy are closing in on Caxant and Ikastoon, reducing the gap by 47.1 seconds. Dovdad and Amy continue to make significant progress in catching up with Caxant and Ikastoon. Sneaky 515 and Meyer are making a move on Dovdad and Amy, reducing the gap by 2.0 seconds. Sneaku 515 and Meyer are making significant progress, narrowing the distance to Duff Dad and Amy by 2.2 seconds. Duff Dad and Amy are closing in on Caxont and Ickastoon, reducing the gap by 2.0 seconds. Duff Dad and Amy are catching up to Caxont and Ickastoon, reducing the gap by 2.4 seconds. Caxont and Ickastoon are catching up to Babardo and Amoljite, reducing the gap by 2.4 seconds. Caxont and Ickastoon are catching up to Babardo and Amoljite, reducing the gap by 2.7 seconds. Duff Dad and Amy are making moves, catching up to Caxont and Ickastoon, reducing the gap by 2.0 seconds. Unknown Knowns is now under pressure as Okayaki 3 and Gensites Forskaquarkus are steadily closing the gap by 2.1 seconds. One Serious Guy and Andrew Wedge are making a strong move, closing the gap on Gary Z and Okayaki 8 by 5.1 seconds. One Series Guy and Andrew Wedge are on the move, catching up to Gary Z and Okayaki 8, reducing the gap by 41.6. Wayne Train 94 and Newcomb Bockham are making moves, catching up to One Serious Guy and Andrew Wedge by reducing the gap by 2.1 seconds. Ferreira 023 and Iusgen 7 have made an impressive move up to 4th place, surpassing Sidrek and Sabine 27 in the process. Ferreira 023 and Iusgen 7 are making significant strides, closing in on Wayne Train 94 and Newcomb Bockham by 2.3. The competition is heating up. Unknown Knowns is now in 7th place after overtaking both Rizaldi Adar and Ahmedin Darkside. Okayaki 3 and Genside's Forska Quarkus are making significant progress, rapidly catching up to Rizaldi Adar and Ahmedin Darkside, decreasing the gap by 39.9 seconds. Okayaki 3 and Genside's Forska Quarkus are making strides, reducing the distance to Rizaldi Adar and Ahmedin Darkside by 8.2 seconds. Caxant and Icastune are in a heated battle with Dovdad and Amy for the 11th position. The Pagani Zonda C12 is up against the Ferrari F40 LM in this thrilling fight. Wayne Train 94 and Newcomb Bockham are making their move, catching up to One Serious Guy and Andrew Wedge by reducing the gap by 2.5 seconds. Wayne Train 94 and Newcomb Bockham are putting the pressure on One Serious Guy and Andrew Wedge, gaining ground and reducing the gap by 2.0 seconds. Caxant and Icastune are on the move, advancing to 11th place by overtaking Dovdad and Amy. Sneaky 515 and Meyer now in 12th place after overtaking Neo Texan and Sarayan Bot, who moved to 13th by passing Dring 1 and Fail. The latter duo advanced to 14th by overtaking Kamikaze 38 and Nidbit. Wayne Train 94 and Newcomb Bockham are gaining ground on One Serious Guy and Andrew Wedge, reducing the distance by 45.7 units. The battle for positions is heating up as they approach their competition. Dovdad and Amy have advanced to 13th place, surpassing Neo Texan and Sarayan Bot in the race rankings. Rizaldi Adar and Amadan Darkside are steadily gaining on unknown knowns, reducing the gap by 2.1 seconds. Neo Texum and Sir Ironbot are making moves, closing in on Dovdad and Amy, reducing the gap by 5.2 seconds. The race is heating up as they continue to gain ground on the track. Rizaldi Adar and Amadan Darkside are closing in on unknown knowns by 5.2. Neo Texum and Sir Ironbot are catching up to Dovdad and Amy, reducing the gap by 39.7. Rizaldi Adar and Amadan Darkside are still making gains on unknown knowns, shrinking the gap by 5.2. Freya 023 and Iusgen 7 have surged to third place, surpassing Wayne Train 94 and Newcombotham. The four drivers are now fiercely competing for the coveted third position in this thrilling race. Wayne Train 94 and Newcombotham have surged up to third place, passing Freya 023 and Iusgen 7. The battle for third is heating up between these four racers. Babardo and Amuljite are steadily catching up to unknown knowns, reducing the distance by 4.6 seconds. Wayne Train 94 and Newcombotham have made a slick move, advancing to third place by overtaking Freya 023 and Iusgen 7. Wayne Train 94, Newcombotham, Freya 023, and Iusgen 7 are all fiercely competing for the third spot on the track. Freya 023 and Iusgen 7 have advanced to the third position, surpassing Wayne Train 94 and Newcombotham in the process. Dovdad and Amy are making gains on Sneaky 515 and Meyer, cutting the distance by 2.0 seconds. Wayne Train 94 and Newcombotham have made a significant move, now occupying the third position after overtaking Freya 023 and Iusgen 7. The battle for the third spot is intensifying between these two pairs of drivers. Dovdad and Amy have made a strong move, advancing to the 12th position by overtaking Sneaky 515 and Meyer. Sidrek and Sabine 27 are making moves, catching up to Wayne Train 94 and Newcombotham by reducing the gap by 2.6 seconds. Dovdad and Amy are catching up to Caxant and Ikastoon, reducing the gap by 2.8 seconds. Siderek and Sabine 27 are rapidly gaining on Wayne Train 94 and Newcombotham, reducing the distance by 2.1 seconds. Siderek and Sabine 27 are making moves, catching up to Wayne Train 94 and Newcombotham with a 2.1 second gain. One Serious Guy and Andrew Wedge are making moves, catching up to Gary Z and Okayaki 8 by reducing the gap by 2.2 seconds. One Serious Guy and Andrew Wedge are making a move, gaining on Gary Z and Okayaki 8 by reducing the gap by 2.2 seconds. Wayne Train 94 and Newcombotham are making moves, steadily gaining on Ferrea 023 and Iusgen 7, cutting the lead by 2.1 seconds. Babardo and Amuljite are making a move, closing in on Unknown Knowns by 3.2 seconds. Wayne Train 94 and Newcombotham have made a significant move up to third place, overtaking Ferrea 023 and Iusgen 7 in a bold maneuver. Siderek and Sabine 27 are making a significant move, closing in on Ferrea 023 and Iusgen 7 by 6.3 seconds. The battle for position is definitely heating up as we approach the middle of the race. Sidetrack and Sabine 27 have advanced to 3rd place, surpassing Ferrer 023 and Ayushjan 7 in the race. Rizaldi Adar and Ahmedan Darkside are making a strong move, catching up to Wayne Train 94 and Newcombakum, decreasing the gap by 5.4 seconds. The pressure is on as they continue to close in on their rivals. Rizaldi Adar and Ahmedan Darkside are making impressive gains, rapidly closing the gap on Wayne Train 94 and Newcombakum by 49.2 units. The chase is on. Unknown Knowns has made a remarkable move, climbing to 8th place by overtaking both Okayaki 3 and Gensites Forska Quarkus. Okayaki 3 and Gensites Forska Quarkus are making a rapid move, narrowing the gap to Unknown Knowns by 25.3. Now Barbardo and Ameljite are also catching up to Okayaki 3 and Gensites Forska Quarkus, reducing the difference by 27.3. The chase intensifies as Okayaki 3 and Gensites Forska Quarkus continue to gain ground on Unknown Knowns by 25.3. Barbardo and Ameljite are steadily catching up to Unknown Knowns, reducing the gap by 2.2 seconds. Meanwhile, Kamikaze 38 and Nidbit are making gains on Drin 1 and Arirafael, closing in by 4.4 seconds. Caxant and Ikastun are catching up to Okayaki 3 and Gensites Forska Quarkus, decreasing the gap by 39.6. Neotexum and Surianbot are making gains on Sneaky 515 and Meyer, closing the gap by 40.4. Dakota Snake is rapidly closing in on Kamikaze 38 and Nidbit, reducing the gap by 45.7. Siazant and Ikastun are making gains on Okayaki 3 and Gensites Forska Quarkus, reducing the difference by 2.9 units. Neotexum and Surianbot are also closing in on Sneaky 515 and Meyer, shrinking the gap by 3.0 increments. Wayne Train 94 and Newcombakum have made a swift move, now sitting in 4th place after overtaking Sidetrack and Sabine 27. Rizaldi Adar and Ahmedan Darkside making moves, now in 5th place after passing Sidetrack and Sabine 27. Dufdad and Amy are making moves, catching up to Caxant and Ikastun, reducing the gap by 4.7 seconds. Dufdad and Amy have advanced to 11th place, surpassing Caxant and Ikastun in the race. Babardo and Ameljite have advanced to P8 after a successful overtake on Sidrek and Sabine 27. Okayaki 3 and Gensites Forska have made a strong move, advancing to the 9th position by overtaking Sidrek and Sabine 27. Sneaku 515 and Meyer are making impressive strides, narrowing the distance to Kaxent and Ikastun by 35.1 units. They are certainly putting the pressure on. ST4NBZH said, "Hey Amy, where is located the Circuit Ledenon?" The Circuit Ledenon is located in France, near the town of Nimes. It's a beautiful track with some challenging corners. Kaxent and Ikastun are gaining on Sidrek and Sabine 27, closing in by 10.3 seconds. Sneaku 515 and Meyer are also rapidly catching up to Kaxent and Ikastun, shortening the distance by 8.3 seconds. Meanwhile, Forea 023 and Iusgen 7 are closing in on One Serious Guy and Andrewedge, reducing the gap by 3.0 seconds. Drin 1 and Irevale are gaining on Neotexum and Surianbot, reducing the gap by 2.5 seconds. Sidrek and Sabine 27 are gaining on Duvdad and Amy, reducing the gap by 2.2 seconds. Duvdad and Amy are making gains, catching up to Okayaki 3 and Gensites Forska, decreasing the distance by 2.0 seconds. Drin 1 and Irevale are rapidly closing in on Neotexum and Surianbot, reducing the gap by 5.7 seconds. Drin 1 and Irevale are gaining on Neotexum and Sir Ironbot, reducing the gap by 41.4 seconds. Kamikaze38 said, "Hey Amy, you could say Porsche are locking out the top for given what the Dara 962 was based on." That's right. Looks like the Porsches are dominating today, showing their strong heritage on the track. Let's see if the Dara 962 can catch up and shake things up a bit. Duvdad and Amy are catching up to Okayaki 3 and Gensites Forska Quarkus, reducing the gap by 2.1 seconds. Duvdad and Amy are making gains, closing in on Okayaki 3 and Gensites Forska Quarkus by 2.7 seconds. Duvdad and Amy are making moves, closing in on Okayaki 3 and Gensites Forska Quarkus by 2.1 seconds. Duvdad and Amy are making a move, catching up to Okayaki 3 and Gensites Forska Quarkus, reducing the gap by 2.7 seconds. Hey Amin-san, welcome back to the channel. Happy to have you here watching some thrilling AI-driven race cars with us. Let's enjoy the action together. Freya 023 and Iusgen 7 are making a strong move, catching up to one serious guy and Andrew Wedge by reducing the gap by 2.1 seconds. Freya 023 and Iusgen 7 are making moves, getting closer to one serious guy and Andrew Wedge by reducing the gap by 2.7 seconds. Sidrek and Sabine 27 are catching up to Duff Dad and Amy, reducing the gap by 2.1 seconds. Sneaku 515 and Meyer are making a move, catching up to Caxant and Ickastoon, reducing the gap by 2.0 seconds. Sneaku 515 and Meyer are making a move, catching up to Caxant and Ickastoon by reducing the gap by 2.6 seconds. Rizaldi Adar and Amadon Darksight are catching up to Wayne Train 94 and Newcombotham, reducing the gap by 2.2 seconds. Welcome back, Wholesome Pills. Good to see you again. Hope you're ready for some exciting AI race car action today. One Serious Guy and Underwedge are making moves, closing in on Gary Z and Okayaki 8 by 3.8 seconds. Rizaldi Adar and Amadon Darksight are also gaining ground on Wayne Train 94 and Newcombotham, narrowing the gap by 2.2 seconds. One Serious Guy and Underwedge are on the move, rapidly catching up to Gary Z and Okayaki 8, reducing the gap by 45.0 seconds. Drin 1 and Irafale are steadily catching up to Neil Texan and Sir Iron Bot, decreasing the distance by 2.0 units. Sidrek and Sabine 27 are on the move, catching up to Duff Dad and Amy, reducing the gap by 2.0 seconds. Babardo and Amuljite are making impressive progress, catching up to Unknown Knowns with a significant 20.3 second reduction in the gap. Okayaki 3 and Gensites Forska Quarkus advance to 8th place, passing Babardo and Amuljite in the process. Duff Dad and Amy are swiftly gaining on Babardo and Amuljite, reducing the gap by 35.1 seconds. Duff Dad and Amy are reeling in Babardo and Amuljite, closing the gap even further at a rapid pace. Sidrek and Sabine 27 have surged to 10th place, surpassing Caxent and Ikastoon. Caxent and Ikastoon have climbed to 11th, overtaking Sneaku 515 and Meyer. Sneaku 515 and Meyer have moved to 12th, passing Duffdad and Amy in the race standings. Duffdad and Amy have made a move up to P11, overtaking Caxent and Ikastoon. Caxent and Ikastoon are making a move on Duffdad and Amy, reducing the gap by 5.6 seconds. Sidrek and Sabine 27 are making moves, catching up to Babardo and Amuljite by reducing the gap by 2.2 seconds. Freya 023 and Iusgen 7 continue to make impressive gains, reducing the distance to one Serious Guy and Andrewedge by 2.8 seconds. Freya 023 and Iusgen 7 are making significant gains, catching up to one Serious Guy and Andrewedge, closing the gap by 42.3 seconds. The pressure is on as the race intensifies. Okayaki 3 and Gensites Forska Quarkus are making moves, chasing down unknown knowns and narrowing the gap by 3.4 seconds. Okayaki 3 and Gensites Forska Quarkus have advanced to the 7th position, overtaking unknown knowns in the process. Sindrek and Sabine 27 are gaining on Babardo and Amuljite, reducing the gap by 2.1 seconds. Babardo and Amuljite are making a strong move, closing the distance on unknown knowns by 42.2 units. The pressure is on as they continue to gain ground in this exciting race. One Serious Guy and Andrewedge are on the move, catching up to Garazed and Okayaki 8 by reducing the gap by 2.2. Sidrek and Sabine 27 are also making gains, closing in on Babardo and Amuljite by 2.0. Sidrek and Sabine 27 are making significant gains, catching up to Babardo and Amuljite by reducing the gap by 2.1 seconds. The competition is heating up as we witness some impressive strategic driving from these racers. Drin 1 and Irafale have advanced to 14th place by overtaking Neotexum and Surianbot. The battle for the 14th spot is heating up between Drin 1 and Rafael in a Nissan R390 and Neo Texan and Sir Ian Bot in a Lamborghini Countach LP5000. Sidrek and Sabine 27 are making a strong push, closing in on Babardo and Amuljite by 2.1 seconds. Sidrek and Sabine 27 are making a move, closing in on Babardo and Amuljite, reducing the gap by 2.0 seconds.